Hi everyone, welcome back. So in this video, we are going to be discussing on two important operators we have. One is the address of operator and the other one is the value of operator. So we will be looking into the concepts like what is this operator, what is the purpose of it, and we will try to understand this with a small example. So let us go into the session. So first we will be discussing about the value of operator. So the symbol that is used to denote this operator is this asterisk, or we also call this as the multiplication symbol. So we are going to for now we are going to refer it as the asterisk. Now this operator is also known as a dereference operator, and another name for it, we also call it as indirection operator. So these are just the alternative names by which we can refer to this value of operator. One is dereference and the other one is indirection. So now, how to make use of this operator, or what is the purpose of it? So here, the value of operator can be used in two different ways. The value of operator is used in two different ways. First one is to declare a pointer variable. So now first thing you have to understand is what is a pointer variable. We already know what is a variable. So a variable is nothing but a name in which we are going to store some value and keep. Same way, a pointer variable is also a variable, but the difference is it is going to hold the address of another variable. See what we will do? We will create a variable. So for that variable, one address will be allocated. I want to store that address. So whatever memory address that has been allocated for the variable, I want to store that address in another variable. So for that, I have to create a pointer variable. Please remember, for storing of a memory address, always we have to make use of pointer variables. Now, how to create a pointer variable? So the syntax is very much similar to what we have done, but the only difference is we are going to be making use of this value of operator. How? Look at the syntax. Data type. So whatever is the data type, we already know what is a data type and what are the available data types. So we can mention any of the valid data type here. Then we have to give a variable name. Now, before giving the variable name, we have to prefix it with the star symbol. We have to prefix it with the asterisk symbol. So this is the first usage of the value of operator. It is used to create or declare a pointer variable. And how to do it? We just have to prefix the variable name with the star symbol. So this is the first usage of the value of operator. There is another usage. The another usage is it is used to store, okay, it is used to access the value stored at the memory location. So what happens here, whenever you create a variable, normally what happens when we create a variable, every variable will have a memory address allocated to it. So inside the memory address, the value is going to be stored. So value of that variable can also be accessed with the help of my asterisk or the value of operator. So how we are going to do it is like this. The syntax is we are going to use the dereference operator, that is our asterisk, then followed by the pointer variable name. We will try to understand this little better when we are dealing with an example. For now, you have to just know two important things. Value of operator, I can use it in two different ways. One is to create a pointer variable. Two, to access the value pointed by the pointer variable. So the pointer is going to point to some address. I want to know what is the value stored at that address. Again, I can use the dereference operator. Right, now coming to the next operator, what we have, address of. So the symbol is our ampersand. Again, we have already made use of this. Remember in the scanf function, when we were learning about the scanf function, there we were using this ampersand operator. So ampersand always points to the address. That is the reason we call it as an address of operator. So it is going to return the memory address that is allocated for a variable. It is always going to point to the memory address that is allocated for a variable. We also call this operator as an address of operator. So another name by which we can refer this operator, address of operator, is a reference operator. Reference here means memory. So address of operator can also be called as the reference operator. Right. So now we already know how to use it in the scanf. So what we are going to do? Scanf. Then of course we have the format specifier. Then when we are going to give the name of the variable, we always prefix the name with our ampersand symbol. Right. So what is the meaning of it? Whatever value my format specifier is reading from the user, it is going to take it and store it in the memory allocated for this particular variable. So this we have seen in our previous videos also. Now, there is a second usage of my ampersand operator, that is my address of operator. What is that usage is? It is used to assign the value for my pointer variable. It is used to assign the value for my pointer variable. Now, we already saw how to create a pointer variable in the previous slide, right? That is data type, the asterisk symbol, that is our value of operator, then followed by the pointer name. Right. Now, I want to access or I want to assign the value of a variable address to this pointer. How to do this? I have to use the equal to, which is our assignment operator, followed by the ampersand variable name. So which variable's address you want to store inside this pointer? That variable name we have to mention here. Ampersand symbol followed by the variable name. So what will happen? Whatever memory address that has been allocated for this variable, that memory address will be stored inside this pointer. So this is the second usage of my ampersand operator. Okay, now both our value of operator and the ampersand operator, let us try to understand it with a small example. Okay, have a look at this. So what we have done here, I have just created a variable called a. So as soon as we are creating a variable a, what is going to happen? An address will be allocated for that a. I'm assuming 85420 is the memory address that is allocated for this variable a. Then I am saying int star p1. Remember, I am creating a pointer variable. How to create it? By prefixing the star symbol. So done. Now, remember, p1 is also a variable. Yes, it is a pointer variable, but that is also a variable. So, a memory will also get allocated for p1. So, what is going to happen? P1, for that one separate memory is going to get allocated. Let us assume that is 74521. This is the memory address of P1. This is the memory address of A. Now, look what I'm asking. I am asking the user to enter a number. Okay, let us assume the user is entering the value as 20. Okay, the user is giving the value, that is enter a number, the value is given as 20. So what is the scanf function going to do? It is going to read that 20 and then it is going to store it in the memory address allocated for A. So inside this memory address, 20 is going to be stored. Done. Right, then come to the next line. What is that I'm saying here? P1 is equal to, what is P1? My pointer variable. My pointer variable. And what did I say pointer is? It is used to store the address of another variable. So here I am going to make use of this P1 to store the address allocated for A. So what I'm saying, P1 is equal to ampersand of A. Ampersand of A means what? Address of A. So I am assigning the address of A to P1. What is the address of A? 85420. So this address is going to be stored as a value for P1. Okay, so this memory address is going to get stored as a value for P1. Done. Now, look at the next print statement. I am saying printf A is equal to %t, comma, star of P1. Now, what did I say? The another use of the value of operator. It is used to access the value pointed by the pointer variable. Right. So, what is the name of the operator? Value of. So, now what is going to happen? P1. What is P1? 85420. This is P1. That is the value of P1. Now, star of P1. Value of P1. What is the value stored at this address? 20. That is what is going to get printed for us. So please understand how the program is going to be working. So let us try to execute it. Okay, so I'm just going to execute the program also. First, let us create a variable. There you go. Then I'm going to ask the user. So I'm saying printf, enter a number. Okay, then I'll ask the user to enter the number. I'm going to take it. So say scanf, then %d as it is an integer value, comma, ampersand a. Done. So the value is going to get stored inside the address allocated for a. Now, let us create our pointer. So I'm saying int, then star p. Anything, see, variable name, it is our choice. Whatever we want, we can give. Equals to. Assign the value now. What is the value? Ampersand a. That is memory address allocated for a. Store it inside. Done. Now, I am saying printf. Okay, value of a is %d, comma a. This is how we normally print it. Right, this is the normal way. So far, how we have been printing the value directly using the variable name. So when I run this program, see what happens. It's asking me for a value. Let us assume I'm giving the same 20. Now what it says, value of a is 20. Perfect, no problem. But now let us try to print this again. I am saying value of a through pointer is. Then what is that I'm giving here? I am saying star of P. Now, please understand how this is going to get executed. Okay, how this is going to be taken is very, very important for us to understand. So, assuming, let us, as I said in the slide, assume. Let us assume A. Okay, first the variable A. Value of A, 10. Sorry, 20. I have assigned the value as 20. Now, what is the address of A? Assume some memory address is going to be there. Okay, so let us just take it as 8500. This is the memory address of A. Now, P is also a variable, but it is a pointer variable. That's it. Then, P, when you create P also will have some memory allocated for it. Now, what is the value of P? I am saying ampersand A. Ampersand A means address of A. What is the address of A? 8500. So this is going to get stored inside the variable P. Done. Till now, it is okay. Now, see what happens when I say star of P. Now, how you have to understand what is P? That is, what is the value of P? 8500. So now, what is that means in the background? How is my compiler going to treat it? Apply the value of operator on P. P is nothing but 8500. Value of 8500. 8500 is an address. So value of that address. So what is the value of this address? 20. So that is what my output is going to be saying. So this is how it is going to be working in the background. Right. Okay. Now let us execute it. This time again, I'm giving the same value. See what happens. Value of A. When I directly access A with the variable also, the value is saying as 20. When I access it through the pointer, that is star P, There also it is giving me the value as 20. Super. Now look at one more thing. Look at one more thing of my operator. Okay, one more beauty I have of this operator. Okay, now look what I'm doing. I am saying value of A is star of ampersand A. Now, what will be the output here? I'm making use of both my operators. I'm using of the value of operator also. I'm using address of operator also. So what will happen here? So please understand ampersand A. So first how you have to decipher? I'm saying star of ampersand A. What is this? What is the value? Star of ampersand A. Now, what you have to understand is, what is ampersand A? Ampersand A means what? Address of A. What is the address of A? 8500. Right, address of A is 8500. Now, apply the value of operator on this 8500. That is star of 8500. That is value pointed by this pointer, which is what? Again, 20. So see how I am making use of my value of and the address of operator. Different ways. Okay, again, look here. So through directly when you use A also, it is giving me the value as 20. Through pointer, then see here. I am saying ampersand of, I'm sorry, value of ampersand. Yeah, that is also nothing but 20. So this is how I will be making use of my value of and the address of operator. So don't worry, this is just an introduction to this operator. We will be making use of this operator completely in our upcoming session on pointers. So as I said, this is a beginner level. Once we move on to the next level, we have a separate chapter on our pointers where we will see more in depth about these two operators and all our other usages of our pointers. Right. Okay, guys. Thank you. See you in the next video.